Hey, set your mind right now. Nothing before this matters. We came here with everything still on the line. Everything you wanted in the offseason is still out in front of you. What would you give for that moment right now? Let's go, man.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing.
Yo, what is good, Raider Nation? Is your boy Raider Alex. I am back with yet another quick video for you guys. In this video, guys, I'm gonna be talking about the red zone offense this year for this team. I'm gonna be making my case why you can book it. The Raiders will have a top 10 red zone scoring offense this season. I'm gonna be making my case for that, as I said. But for anybody that is new to the channel and you guys love Raiders related content like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. With that being said, let's jump right into it. Now, as we all know, being Raider fans, especially like last season, we struggled tremendously in the red zone. It's been a very consistent thing where we're able to move the ball, but once we get inside the red zone, you have to continually settle for field goals. And honestly, in the NFL, in this day and age, if you want to win games, if you want to make it far, you have to score touchdowns. Touchdowns will win you games. Field goals most of the time will not cut it unless you have a dominant defense, which, hey, we haven't had that either. And what's the common denominator between the last 4 years and the red zone issues? I say it's our old coach, John Gruden. I feel like John Gruden was a pretty decent play caller, but especially once he got in the red zone, he was terrible. That's where you need a little bit more creativity. That's where in the field, is just shrinking. There's not a whole lot of real estate to work from. You got to get more creative. You got to put your best players in the best situations to make things happen. Before, I was kind of critical about Derek Carr, saying he struggles in the red zone, but after looking at the stats, the red zone stats for the Raiders from 2014 to now, I actually see it most likely Derek Carr was not the issue in terms of the red zone. Because yeah, let's jump into the stats. In terms of red zone, in 2021 we were 29th ranked in the red zone. In 2020 we were ranked 23rd. And 2019 and 2018 both ranked 22nd in the league. That's just not good enough to win in this league. Like I said, you have to score touchdowns. You can't settle for field goals. And that's all those years, was under John Gruden. Last year, yeah, John Gruden left after, I think 5 games or whatever the case may be. But we were still using a huge portion of his playbook. And look at Derek Carr's first 4 years when he didn't have a guy like John Gruden. In 2014, his rookie season, which this was a kind of mind-boggling stat, we were actually first in the league in red zone efficiency, which, hey, we were terrible that year, so that's why I was kind of shocked on that. But it probably just shows that, we weren't able to get to the red zone a whole lot, but once we were there, we were able to punch it in. In 2015, we were 8th in the red zone. In 2016, 13th. And in 2017, even though that season was pretty bad too, we underachieved. We did not make the playoffs. We were still ranked 8th in the red zone. So I think this just shows a huge part of why we've been struggling a couple of years was due to John Gruden's play calling. But luckily for us, John Gruden is no longer the coach on this team. It is Josh McDaniels, and Josh McDaniels is going to be the one that's in charge of play calling for this offense. And if you look at it, New England historically, since 2014 till now, they have actually been pretty good in the red zone. Out of the last 8 years, they have been a top 10 offense in the red zone 5 out of the 8 years. Match this with having a good quarterback in Derek Carr and a lot of weapons, I think, on offense in the red zone, which we've been struggling with the most the past years. We are going to be fine. We are going to be a top 10 offense in the red zone. And I think that's going to play a huge factor in the Raiders' success in the next couple of years, being able in the red zone. If we look at it last year, a couple of games off the top of my head, we could have, if we would have been a lot more efficient in the red zone, we likely would have won those games, like against the New York Giants, against the Washington football team, that sort of thing. Also, we got too many weapons to not be effective in the red zone. You got a guy like Devontae Adams who's likely going to get a vast majority of the double teams inside the red zone, which should leave a guy like Darren Waller, which if you use him right, he can be a nightmare matchup for most teams. Also, you got a sneaky good wide receiver in Hunter Renfrow, and that's just what he is. He's a sneaky good wide receiver. He's a guy that a lot of people will sleep on, and when you do that, he will burn you with his route running ability. Also, we got a running back in Josh Jacobs who he has 28 career touchdowns in 3 years. That's pretty good for a running back, and if you look at it, the vast majority of his touchdowns has been inside the red zone as well. He hasn't been a guy who's, you know, got that breakaway speed to get like 30-40 yard touchdowns. So like I said, in the red zone, he's been pretty good at getting touchdowns. That's just another weapon. Also, don't sleep on a guy like Bryan Edwards. I feel like Bryan Edwards got the perfect skill set to be an effective wide receiver in the red zone. He's a big body wide receiver. I would like us to, you know, throw a little bit more fade routes to him. We saw him have a fade route touchdown against the Cleveland Browns. I want us to do a little bit more of that. With all the weapons we have, this guy's not going to be getting double teamed. He's going to be single covered. So do not sleep on him in the red zone. As I have mentioned multiple times, in order to win in the National Football League, you have to be able to score touchdowns. Touchdowns win you games. Field goals, they only win you games if you have a dominant defense. I do not see that being the identity of this team. I think the offense is going to be the strength on this team, and like I said, we have to punch it in the end zone to be successful in this season, especially in this tough division that we have. But yeah, Raider Nation, you can book it. We're going to be a top 10 offense in the red zone this season, potentially even a top 5 offense. Like I said, we got so many weapons. We have to be effective in the red zone. I think we will do that. I think the history has shown that Josh McDaniels is a good play caller in the red zone, and that we have the pieces to do that effectively. But yeah, Raider Nation, those are my thoughts and opinions on the red zone offense this year. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys agree. That being said, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys in this video. Anybody that is new to the channel and you guys love Raiders related content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the channel. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.